Oh! Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I love that track.
All right.
Great track.
You kind of have two layers of bass going on, and they're having a conversation with each other, which is good. Whether or not they're two different textures, maybe play with varying the textures or the sonic palette of both those bass sounds. So I find that when I have different bass textures playing off one another, the track kind of grooves and feels a little bit more alive. If these are some of your own homegrown samples and percussion, awesome. Even if they're not, really, really nice choice of your percussion. It's minimal, but it doesn't feel too stripped. I mean, things are just placed really, really well, and the sounds are chosen really, really well. I mean, the groove is elegant. I would say it's a very elegant groove. I mean, what I was kind of biting my tongue on that boom, boom, boom. You did drop it after the break, but you know, by the time we got to the break, I was a little bit bored of it. I wonder if there's room, and not to go over the top, but just glitch it out a little bit. Maybe even like reverse, you know, some of the notes, like won't kind of thing. I just want a little bit more variation.
One thing you could also think about is just sometimes just changing up a note of that main melody could be enough. Like you're going ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Just one time, then you could keep your minimal aesthetic and just give people a little something unexpected. Could be cool. This great juxtaposition. It's like this kind of housey groove, this housey percussion, housey bass line, and the flute kind of brings this melancholic, melodic elements that just contrasts everything. And I think that that contrast is often what I'm looking for, you know? Breakdowns, when they kind of go to almost silence. As a DJ, I'm always kind of like, is it, everything's quiet, everybody's gonna stop dancing, but the percussion came right back on this one. So yeah, totally playable, really well done.
Everything about it. I mean, I just feel I actually don't really have any feedback on this. I think this is just a super solid track.
Yeah, it's really, really well done. I like the percussion especially. In the opening, I love when people can take little percussion and make little melodies in the groove, little percussive melodies in the groove with the drums. Something that you dance to throughout the entire track, and that was definitely here in this one. And the melody is deep, the pads are really deep. Obviously the groove is really deep, and I guess I'm just wanting for something to be a little bit juxtaposing that, I guess.
Obviously, the focus of the track is that lead sound. Doom, 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 doom. At first, there were some surprise notes in the scale, which I appreciated. Then, kind of later on, I felt like the lead was just kind of like wandering around. I wanted to have a little bit more focus. What I really, really liked a lot, and you were hinting at this, and it came through a lot more earlier in the track. You had these nice kind of glitchy kind of textures that didn't sound, like everything else that I hear in this genre. And whatever you did there with those little texture blippy glitchy things, see if you can take some of those ideas or push that to the forefront with some of your other lead sounds, or synth sounds, or your textures or percussion. Overall, it's very nice. It's very pleasant.
The acoustic guitar, I feel like it's lovely, and I loved it. And I loved it when you changed it, when it kind of
Yeah.
changed up, and you added that little change up to it. It doesn't feel like a lead though to me,
Yeah.
and it feels like it's being used as such. I think it would be great to bring that back, so that's a part of your groove. Give it some delays, some stuff to just kind of, and then you have just this really solid groove. And then I would just kind of play with the musical idea that comes out of that guitar and work on a lead to just kind of send it to the top.
What is the track about? What is the center stage? Like, what is the vibe is there. I just want a melody. I want a lead. I want the voice of the track. And the whole time I was kind of waiting for it. In my opinion, you're off to a great start. We just need to know what the track is about, what makes the track sing. And that's what's kind of missing. Special track. It felt, arrangement wise, like a lot of the elements were just kind of stacked, like almost if you weren't listening to it, or if I wasn't listening to it and I just kind of blindly arranged it in Ableton, everything kind of came in a way that I would exactly expect. Trying to have your melodic ideas have a conversation with one another, rather than just kind of stacking them on top. Really nice. 36 seconds when you had those flowery kind of flourishes, like you had my attention. Overall, beautiful vibes. My ears were kind of asking, and maybe it's kind of like an all day I dream thing. Like in the during the breakdown, I feel like if you found some kind of like vocal sample of
Oh my
someone
god, I can't believe you said that. I literally wrote that down, and I literally was, when those pianos went, I was gonna be like, a vocal would be great right here.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be somebody like singing. It could be somebody just like, whatever. But
talking or something from a movie or something, right?
I can't believe you said that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely consider it. We both thought it.
Yeah. Maybe a couple things you could play with in the bass line, especially early on. You have the filter on the bass open quite a bit. I wonder if you can kind of save that for later when you have a higher energy, or you can do like kind of like an envelope or some kind of way to add some more movement to the bass.